Well, hello everyone. It's Jeff from Mid-Atlantic Craps along with Chris from Dice Degen. Chris, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, Jeff. How are you?
Well, I'm doing okay. I guess it could be you and I could be here under probably other circumstances, but we want to come out and you and I talked over the weekend. We got the sad news. I know that John is in the chat at the moment. We got the sad news that late Saturday night that John's father had passed away, and John put a couple comments in his Discord, and we know that not everybody is on the Discord side of it, so we wanted to bring a short show to pay our respects to John and for his family and what they're going through, and that's the reason why we are here this morning. It's you and I, and after we get started here, we'll talk about what's going to happen this week while John is with his family at this most important time. If you guys can bear with us, what we'd like to do is I'd like to just offer a short prayer for John and his family, followed by a moment of silence. I realize there's not a lot of you that are here, but then Chris and I will come back and talk about it. So if you guys will just bear with us, and if you believe in this stuff, do whatever you do when you're with somebody that is grieving at this time. So. Heavenly Father, we pray for the healing and comfort for John and his family as they deal with their father's passing. I pray that they find refuge in you in the midst of their pain. Please bring healing to their body, mind, and spirit. Amen. And now we'll have a few moments of silence. All right, so Chris, we got the bad news on Saturday night. Our good friend John, his dad passed away unexpectedly. We don't know specifically the details. I know that John is in chat today. We gave him the opportunity to come on the show. We certainly understand that he's not. But tell me something, Chris. You and I are both real close friends with John, so have a few words.
Yeah, so first of all, John, speaking directly to you and your family, I want to wish you my most heartfelt condolences. I know I texted you and stuff, but I really do want to wish you guys maybe some happiness and some bright light during this dark time for your families. Some comfort there, knowing that your dad has had a huge impact on you and your whole entire family, and has shaped you into just a pillar for everybody to always rely on. So Jeff and I are here today to kind of step in a little bit and just tell people that the shows from this week and stuff won't be happening as per usual, and we just wanted to kind of take a few moments to explain that, and also to tell people that and to tell you that we want to offer our heartfelt condolences to you and your family during this tough time, and that I know your whole family is strong. You guys have been through many things in recent years, and I'm sure throughout the entire life of your family. So just want to know that you're going to get through it. That there will be some pain, obviously, in the short term, but you guys are a strong group, and really rely on the family now, and you guys are going to be just fine, and that the whole community is here for you, and we have your back always and every time, but especially during this tough time for you and your family.
Very, very kind words there. We know John's in the chat, and John, all weekend long, Chris and I have been talking, and we debated whether or not we should do this show because we have accessibility to the CGTV. We wanted to pay you and your family the respect that is due, and we want to let everybody know that the reason why you're not going to be here this week, and although you've already scheduled shows for next week, is that we want you to take as much time as you need to be with the family and do what you need to do there. As well as come back with us when you come back, and we hope that your family finds the healing that you need while you grieve through this process. And this community, John, I put the chat up there. John said it right. This community is just really great. I've talked to a lot of other YouTubers that are close friends with you, John. Some of them did not know the news, and some of them had seen it in Discord. But we wanted to share our condolences for you and the family. And if you would, when the arrangements are made, if you could let Chris and I know. Our plan to do this is to hold a couple shows this week at this time frame and let Chris do his Crapsy rollout that he did when you were on vacation, so that people who need to get their 11 a.m. or 8 a.m. Pacific time, craps fix, if you will, they'll still have it, and we can never replace you. There's no way we can even fill your shoes, although my shoes are much bigger than yours. We want to let you know that we're here to support you and also to help you along. With that said, Chris, plan-wise, we had talked about what we were going to do tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. We want to keep this show pretty short out of respect for John, but we wanted to let the viewers know where John was this week. He wasn't on vacation. It's a tragedy of what took place. So what do you have planned from a standpoint of possibly filling some of this time on the 11 a.m. while John and his family tend to family business?
Yeah, like you said, John's shoes are impossible to fill. So told you, debated going back and forth with either even doing it with crapsies and stuff, because, I don't know. I've been kind of toying with the idea of it back and forth. Obviously, I can do it, but it's just a matter of trying to be, respectful. And like you said, for everybody who is watching, that, John's not on a trip or anything. There's, a life and a family matter that he's attending to. So I do plan on doing some crapsies and stuff. I'm going to keep them super, just kind of basic. No real. I'm not going to do a whole lot of like bantering and a whole lot of like entertainment, I want to say. Just going to try to keep it to just roles, some chats, give, those who want to play crapsy the opportunity to play. If they, people don't want to play and they want to take the week off, please, do let either Jeff or I know. So, I won't do it. I just want to, try to step in and help. Because I know, people want to do the craps and stuff. So it would be at this 11 a.m. hour or 8 a.m. hour, 11 a.m. on the East Coast, 8 a.m. on the West Coast for those who are watching. So if you guys, do want the crapsies and stuff, please do let us know. If not, then we can have like a almost like a dark week and, let John and his family deal with what they're dealing with. But for everybody who wants crapsy and stuff, I can certainly run it. But again, it will not be very, super bantery and cheerful. Do want to give John the respect that him and his family do deserve. And again, not trying to replace John here, just trying to fit my size 13 shoes into whatever size he is. But I know that my size 13s wouldn't even, it's like me stepping into a room. John's shoes are the room, and mine take up a very small part in that. So I will do it if people want it, but that's the plan. So yeah, 11 a.m. East Coast, 8 a.m. Pacific. I'll run it for about an hour each day, hopefully. Not today, obviously. Today, Jeff and I are doing the short show here, but starting tomorrow and Wednesday, Thursday, I can do a short crapsy session for everybody, just to fill it in, and it'll be on CGTV. So.
All right. Well, Chris, I appreciate you. That's one of the things that you suggested that we were going to do. And for those of you that are just joining in, you see Chris and I on the channel here. John had an unexpected death in the family. His father passed Saturday night. And we've said a prayer already. We've had a moment of silence for him. We're watching the chats come in, and I'm trying to display them. We want to give you the opportunity to send your condolences through the chat if you'd like. If you have another means of communicating with John, feel free to do so, but understand that, give him his private time with the family. When we find out the arrangements, hopefully we'll be able to share that in a future show. This show is going to be very brief, and we're not going to go on much longer from a standpoint of what we talked about doing with what Chris said with the Crapsey shows. I think that's an excellent thing, and one of the things that Jen just put up here, she said that yes, Crapsey would be great in place of that. We could never fill what John does. We're not here to bring in a coffee and crap show and be bubbly today and jovial like John typically is in the morning. You probably can't see it, but back there on the shelf, along with all that memorabilia up there, there is a coffee and craps coffee mug up there. I probably should have had it over here, but that is what we plan on doing. And to answer Dan's question, Dan, Chris and I have talked about this. I talked to Duracell, Waylon, Ed, a couple others, YouTube Ken, and we want to, as a community, we want to do something for John, but we want to give him the space and the time and the family to tell us, what we want. And we are going to be doing something in the lines of some type of memorial or some type of donation that we can make in lieu of whatever they decide to do. So Dan, that's a very good question. That was something I failed to mention just a little while ago. So Chris, from a standpoint of the 11 a.m. fill time or 8 a.m. Pacific time over there, you're going to be doing the Crapsey. I don't know whether you're going to do it tomorrow. It would be great. I think you and I talked about maybe doing a dual rollout sometime during the week. But we want to make sure that we don't conflict with when the arrangements are made. I think the day that the service is held, that we should be dark and we should not be doing a show that day. So hopefully, John is he'll tell us soon what the arrangements are. My text from him on Saturday night was his dad had gone into the hospital, and within about a half hour, 45 minutes, he told me he had passed. It was a total shock to me. When it's unexpected like that, it is. John was 3,000 miles away, and I'm sure he's probably on the East Coast by now. If not, he's traveling. I know he was in the chat here just a few minutes ago, and I'm going to put this up here again, what he said initially when we got started with the show, and that is loving this community. Everyone is such great friends, and that's the case. So guys, we were going to keep this show short. If any of you want to send any more condolences in the chat, I can't say that John is still here, but feel free to extend your condolences, your prayers, your thoughts to John and his family when they go through this tragic time. So Chris, I'm looking at the chats come in. I can't display them all. When we come out on a live show, typically it takes 10, 15, 20 minutes to get the bulk of the viewers here whenever you do a live show. Currently we're sitting at 40 viewers. Typically John has 50, 55, 60 viewers on the show. He just wanted to say that.
Looks like John tried to join.
Oh, John, if you tried to join vMix, I apologize for that. If you want to try it one more time, John, I missed that. If you want to come back on, I can add you in there. Just remember there was an extra colon in there. There's John. Let's bring John on the screen, guys, everybody. I can't believe it, but let's have John join us here. And there you go, John.
Hey.
Good morning. Okay? God bless you, and condolences and thoughts and prayers to you and your family. We can hear you.
Yeah. Oh, good. Thanks. How you guys doing? Appreciate you guys doing this, actually. As you can tell, I'm down here in Florida with all the palm trees behind me. We're having a good time down here, actually. It's awful sad, as you can well imagine. But I just wrote this in chat. We're just swapping Gene stories right now. It's like all the families here, everybody showed up. Like we flew out. He passed away Saturday. We flew out of Seattle Sunday morning. Got here about noon or 1 o'clock yesterday, and we've been just telling stories and having a good time, remembering Dad for what he was. I went into his office because we have to go through a bunch of stuff, obviously. And the first thing I see on his desk is a roulette layout. He's breaking down the roulette. Like, that was my dad. Like, wow. He always mapped roulette numbers to lottery numbers, and he's like me, man. Just like that was like the coolest thing when I walked in there. Like, that's so Gene. But we're having a good time here. It's good to get with family and reminisce and just nothing but good stories. My dad was awesome. So I appreciate you guys doing this. And I said it in chat. Just have fun this week.
Well, I mean,
we're enjoying each other's company. We're telling all the Happy Gene stories, and you guys should have fun too. Don't let this be sad for you all. Just go and do your thing, man. Do Crapsy, have fun. Keep thinking about us, but yeah, I mean, have a good time.
Well, we appreciate that, and Chris is going to do the Crapsy Guru stuff this week, and we're going to do a couple of dual rollouts. So the only thing I would say, John, is when you figure out the arrangements, could you let one of us know? Because I'm sure I've had many phone calls and messages asking about that same question, and we as a community want to be able to support you and your family. We may have lost John on the call. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, we don't have any arrangements at all. We're just working through it. Yeah, we're working through it all to figure that out. Maybe Friday. Who knows? We don't even. There's a lot of balls in the air with the tactics right now. That's kind of what my brother and I are kind of focusing on right now, is getting all that stuff taken care of. So Mom doesn't have to.
Well, but you're where you need to be this week. You're in Florida. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's sunny Florida, and under these circumstances, you'd rather be there under certainly different circumstances, John. But we're here with you. We said we were going to keep the show short. We just wanted your viewers to know what happened, because you had a whole schedule put out of shows for both the Daily Paycheck and Coffee and Craps.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we'll pick it up next week. But you guys take the ball and run, do your thing. When I saw the notice this morning, I was like, "Uh-oh, did somebody hack the account?" I'm like, "What happened?" Then it's probably Jeff and Chris. And so I just wrote you a quick note, and you guys are awesome. I love you guys so much, and everybody out there. You should see like the amount of emails and texts that I've gotten from everybody. Like, my phone was blowing up. It's kind of amazing. You know what I mean? We're all friends, but it's like you don't really realize how tight people are until you start getting texts and emails and everything else from everybody. It's like, wow, there's a ton of support. So I feel it. I really do. My family feels it. It's worth a lot. Trust. Yeah.
Well, and as Chris and I were talking on Sunday, actually Saturday night, that we've met you several times in person, and we've only known each other a few short months, I would say, maybe 18, 24, maybe a little more than that. But we feel like we're good friends, and I think that speaks volumes for what you said earlier about this community. It's a great community for us to be able to do this. John, we don't want to keep you. I know that you're down there. I can see the palm trees and the sun in Florida. Yeah. So go be with your family. Chris and I said we would keep this show to about 20 minutes. And we're going to let everybody else that's just now popping in. If you want to send John some condolences in chat, please do so before we sign off. We'll be back later on in the week with more information about John and his arrangements for what's going on with his passing of his father. So, John, you have any final words that you'd like to share?
Just thanks for your thoughts and your prayers, and the moment of silence was meaningful. Really appreciate it. I mean, everybody's saying great things in the chat, and like I said, you can't put into words what it means. I can't. Nope. I love you all. I really, really do, and I can feel it coming back. So my family, like I said, we appreciate it. We really, really do.
You missed it, but just a few minutes ago, there was a rainbow in the background behind you while you were there.
Was it really?
That's what Brian just put up here. I saw it, but I'm producing a show, trying to do what I can do with the show here.
You need to get a still shot of that.
Yeah,
you need to get a still shot of that. That's pretty awesome.
There it is. Hold on.
Really?
Let me.
I think it's the angle of how you're holding it. Yeah.
I screen grabbed it. You're good.
Okay, that's so really Chris said he got it, and Skills just joining us, sending his condolences your way as well, John. So we're right around 40 viewers. Typically, you have many more because it's your face, not Chris and my face. But we're glad that you joined the show. Anybody else that would like to send John a condolence before we sign off here? We'll be back with Chris. Will be back later this week with a few shows at this time slot. And John, you take the time that you need to take in order to be able to come back and do a Coffee and Crap show. Whenever it is, next week, the week after, and your daily paychecks, because we miss us some John from ProCraps, that's for sure.
I miss you guys too.
100%.
All right. So.
All right. Thanks, everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off then.
All right, John. Take care. God bless you.
All right. Bye.
Yes. God bless you.
All right. All right, Chris. So that kind kind of went, I guess, probably better than what you and I had planned. But I see some more condolences coming in to make sure that everybody, gets the word, because we keep climbing in viewership. We'll repeat what's going to happen here in the next couple of minutes, and then we'll go ahead and close this show out. On behalf of our brother John there, and at least I consider him that. He's a brother from another mother, I guess, is how the saying goes. So, Chris, let's recap again what's going on with Coffee and Craps and what you're going to do, and then we'll go ahead and get the show out of here.
Yeah, so it was great to have John on there, and such a positive personality and spirit that even with what he's going through right now, he still hopped on and he still sounded so positive and stuff. So again, deepest condolences to him and his family. For the upcoming week, I'm going to be doing Crapsy sessions at 11 a.m. Eastern time, 8 a.m. Pacific time. So typical Coffee and Craps show time. And tomorrow, which is Tuesday, I'm going to be doing Crapsy. I'm going to tell you all in advance, it's going to be 81 rolls, okay? There will not be 82 rolls. There will not be 80 rolls. It will be 81 rolls tomorrow. I don't care if I don't end on a 7. 81 rolls for how old John's dad was at the time. So that's tomorrow. Wednesday, Thursday, we'll do, again, 11 a.m. Crapsy sessions. And then once John lets us know about the arrangements and stuff, we will certainly be dark on that day. So if it happens to be one of those days, we won't be doing a Crapsy session, and we can post an update of that in Discord or so. And then hopefully one day you and I can do a joint rollout. Maybe Wednesday or Thursday we'll discuss offline, and we can figure that out.
All right, so once we find out what the arrangements are and how things are going to be, we'll share that with you. Maybe John might post in the Casino Gaming TV Discord. The purpose of us coming on today and doing this show was because although there were some condolences given in the CGD Discord, the majority of viewers either don't have notifications on or aren't in the Discord, which is another reason why you should join it for news like this. And we'll let you know what's going to happen, and if John will keep us up to date on that. So, Chris, I don't have anything else. I think I've gone through the majority of the condolences on the show here that have come in. While we were doing the show here, I'm just trying to make sure I cover them all. Good luck to you tomorrow on your Crapsy show or the day that we have it. And yes, you and I will do a dual rollout. So for those who just came in the door here, John's dad passed away unexpectedly Saturday night. Chris and I, unbeknownst to John, went ahead and did this show for him this morning. We're going to keep it short. We're at the 20-minute level, Chris, and I think that we're about ready to get out of here. What I'm going to do is I am going to fade the screen to black, and then I'm going to wait about 10 seconds before we end the show. So with that said, John, Chris, do you have anything else that you would like to add?
No, just, I just want to say to everybody, please keep John in your thoughts and your prayers. And even if you don't believe in the power of prayer, just say a few words for his family.
Okay.
They can definitely use it. And that's it.
And we're going to end on that note, guys. We're going to fade to black. The show will stay in there for a few minutes. Please keep John and his family in your prayers, or whatever your preference is for what you do at times of this when people are grieving. John, from the bottom of my heart, and along with Chris, we extend our sincere condolences, our thoughts and prayers to you. I'm glad that you came on the show. I'm glad that you told us to carry on like normal, and that you didn't want us to be a somber mood. You wanted us to have fun. That would be the typical John. And listen to that short story of your dad and the roulette really kind of enlightened my day today. And I'm sorry of his passing. And please stay in touch, guys. Till next time. We'll catch you on the next one. As always, be safe and play smart. And we're going to fade to black, and we're going to call this show, guys. Thank everybody that came on today. Chris, thank you for coming on, helping me do this. And God bless everybody, and God bless John and his family.